What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering the new Track Bowling Paragon Pearl. Now, I threw the Paragon probably for the majority of the PBA Tour events that I had that ball in my bag. It was a very, very reliable, strong bowling ball. I used it on all the heavy oil patterns, the longer patterns. Just a very consistent ball. It was first ball out of my bag for all the practice sessions to kind of give me an idea of what I'm looking at. So now we're going to do the Pearl version of that. Should be cleaner. I've even got the same layout, so hopefully have somewhat of the same motion. Again, just a cleaner motion overall. So haven't thrown this ball yet. Haven't even seen it go down the lane yet, but I really like the colors, that's for sure. But before we get into that, make sure you go sub to the channel. We are on the road to 5,000 subs, and I want to get to all of the giveaways for you guys. Let's get started. Okay, so today we have the Track Bowling Paragon Pearl. Again, the newest piece in the track bowling lineup. Now, fair warning, we do have a little bit of maintenance going down on the other end, so I'm going to try to get as much of this video done without the noise as possible. That first shot was a lot more off the end of the pattern than I expected, but I do think we have kind of the other house shot in right now. They just got done running the lanes, so this is kind of the low volume, shorter house shot that they have, so that could play a part in this video today too. The beginning of the video I mentioned how the Paragon was a staple in my arsenal for a pretty good time. Again, that was a ball used for heavy oil patterns, so we're hoping for the same motion here. This is laid out the same as my original Paragon. Has a very short pin, trying to get a smoother motion out of it, a little bit less flare, so hopefully we'll see the same here, just a lot cleaner. So far, I definitely think this is cleaner than I expected. Again, I'm pretty confident that we're bowling on kind of their other house shot that I don't usually use for the videos. It's got less volume, less length, so to see this ball still clearing the front so far, besides the first shot before I made a little move, is a pretty good sign. If that would have hit it. This new Paragon Pearl features the iCore 3.0 core wrapped with the QR11 Pro cover with HK22. So again, another ball with HK22. If you watched the last few videos covering some of the hammer pieces, you saw the performance with some HK22 there. This HK22 is pretty tough to beat. I'm really interested to see if we can play a little farther left later on this video like we do for most of the ball reviews. Again, I use that Paragon a whole lot on the PBA Tour, and it let me stay farther left because it flared a lot less with the layout we had. So with the same layout here, I'm kind of intrigued to see what we can do from farther left with this ball. Pretty close. Green definitely isn't my my favorite color, but I really like watching this ball go down the lane. There's something about this color that it looks pretty sweet. I don't really know what it is. You know, we've got kind of like an emerald color, a lighter green color. Something about it just looks really good going down the lane. All right, everyone, so if you watched some of the videos before, we've had some mic issues in the past, and unfortunately, I have to admit, this time it was my fault. We had some battery issues, we had some other issues without realizing, and the back half of this video does not have the audio from me actually on the lane. So, you know, we're just going to act like I had the audio, and, you know, you're not going to hear the pinfall in the background, but, you know, I had it going, just didn't realize what was going on. So we're just going to do a little voiceover for the back half of this video if that will work for today. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. So either way, we're going back to the Paragon Pearl. And again, just going over what we said, you know, we've got the same layout, a shorter pin layout as we did with the Paragon, trying to get a kind of a smoother reaction, flare a lot less than what I normally would for most of our layouts. So, you know, up to this point, I think the biggest takeaway from the last couple of videos with the hammer pieces was, I think the performance and for the price point was pretty crazy, and most of that goes back to this HK22 that we have on these covers now. That is clearly helping out some of these covers, that is for sure. But today, you know, I was really surprised by how responsive this ball was off the end of the pattern. And that goes along with the layout again. You know, we're trying to get a smoother reaction. As you can see, you know, we're tripping a few 6 pins, going kind of heavy through the face here, kind of like that shot. I've had some shots miss left that came back. This was definitely not a good display of shot making for this video. I would be completely honest. This is not one of my better videos, making some shots and displaying the ball. And that just goes to show how good the Paragon Pearl was, because it helped me throw some strikes for this video. That's for sure. But yeah, then again, like some other videos, we will move left here for a couple shots. Not too far left, but a lot farther left than I would for most house shots. Take some hand out, take some rotation out, and see if we can get a little smoother reaction, standing closer to the friction. And I believe for both of these shots, you know, they didn't quite get to the head pin the right way to strike. Got a little lucky there for that one, but I think it's a good sign to see the ball not, you know, overreact too much on those shots. That is kind of what we're looking for. So that was a pretty good sign right there. So now we're gonna move back right for, you know, the back part of this video, and you know, if we're talking about the numbers for the Paragon Pearl, I believe the RG is 248. And the differential is 0.56. So RG of 248, it's a pretty common number for a lot of bowling balls, kind of in the middle. So it's not going to rev up too early, too late with a high, like a higher RG. Differential is 0.56. It's pretty high diff. You know, a lot of flare potential out of this ball. That is also partly why we went to shorter pin to try to cut it down some. I try to get some of the flares closer for myself. So that was one of the goals for this ball. But also, with that higher differential, it kind of makes me wonder what would happen if I drilled this with, I mean, a closer to normal layout. You know, with say a 5-inch pin or something like that, would flare a whole lot more, just to see what happens. Because if I think personally that this ball is this responsive with this layout, what happens when it flares that much more? I don't really know. So I may have to go back and order another one of these and give that a go for a later video as well. And again, we're watching some of these shots. This is definitely not the best shot making. I mean, shots like that, we'll take those breaks all the time. We've had several misses left, several misses right, and somehow the pins are falling for this video. That is for sure. Again, we throw some better shots here to end the video. Ball's still going through the pins really well, especially with it not flaring a whole lot. To see the ball still, you know, going through the pins well and doing what it's doing right now, it's definitely what we're looking for. Thank you to HK22 for that. But I think that is all we have for today's video. Sorry again for the mic situation. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please go like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys next time.